these Orthodox rabbis from Europe had the perspective that Christians are persecutors. There's Jews who are good, Christians who are bad. Don't confuse the two. And that Christians are anti-Semitic by definition of Jews. As I started to mature in my own spiritual life and in my thinking and in my reading, I obviously began to question that and reject it.
Despite their shared biblical roots, Jews and Christians have a 2,000-year history of misunderstanding and discord. It has been Rabbi Yechiel Eckstein's life calling to change this. For over 3 decades, the fellowship has been doing just that, building bridges between Christians and Jews to help millions of people around the world. It was in Yechiel's teenage years when God began molding him for this mission.
After high school, I went to a yeshiva in Israel for 2 years. And that's when my spirituality started to really develop. At a yeshiva in Israel, again, it was the all-boys yeshiva environment where we study the Bible, we study Talmud, we pray, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, almost like a monastery for those who can relate to it that way. But it was there that I really started to get what I would call my personal spiritual relationship with God. And at the age of 24, 25, I started to want to understand my Jewish faith from the outside. Not just from within and how can I be closer to God. Not just from within, how can I develop a stronger relationship with God. And that's when I decided to go for my doctorate at Columbia University. My doctorate was on showing the parallels in particular of religious authority. What is the source of religious authority for the Orthodox, the conservative, and the Reformed Jew? And how does that parallel Christian theologians in their understanding of theology? In retrospect, I didn't realize it then, obviously, but it seems pretty clear and pretty obvious now, looking back to 38, 40 years ago, that my studying at Columbia, going outside of the contours of the yeshiva and the Jewish world, my studying for the degree in Jewish philosophy and then other religions, and studying Christianity was a part of the process of God shaping me to appreciate Christianity. You have to understand that I come from an Orthodox background. I never met a Christian till I went to Columbia and met non-Jews in that way. Going to school with non-Jews and meeting them, it was a real stepping out of a very closed-minded circle that I lived in all my life. And there was a shock process obviously involved there. And so it's interesting that somehow God was keeping me still in that incubator, if you will, and giving me opportunities to rebel within the system. And only later on would I rebel against the establishment to this day and go outside of the system if I felt the system was not just, or if I felt the system was not doing what needs to be done. I came to buck the system And that came because of a greater self-confidence that I developed that I never had till I left New York, came to Chicago, and started my first real job with the Anti-Defamation League.